Flight of the Kingfissher is a pulpy science fiction adventure story. See the episode description for content warnings, and stay tuned to this frequency. That last block of music was brought to you by the fine folks over at Astra Planatia Starships. Now I'm sure I don't have to sing the praises of APS. I bet a good number of you listening are doing so from the comfort of one of their fine MX Star Cutters. So this next one is for you, heroes of the frontier.
All right, crew. When we left you last, you were actually divided up into two different groups. Captain Valentine and Esperanza Cruz were perched in the jungle overlooking the ruins, trying to figure out how they could rescue the last three members of the archaeology team and their compatriot, Dr. Avery Swan. So I think this is a perfect time for you guys to make a plan. When the crew have an open, freewheeling discussion about the solution to a problem, once they have gathered a number of assets equal to at least half of the problem's complexity, and reach a consensus, roll plus the number of assets incorporated into the plan, or otherwise used, minus the plan's complexity. Just as a reminder, the problem that you folks are trying to solve is that Camp Sophia is being held hostage by Commander Thade and his gunship. If you want to get paid for this transpo job, you need to escape with the dig team and their discoveries mostly intact. And the assets that you have gathered so far are a strange device taken from the precursor ruins, large enough to hide a person. Its purpose is unknown, but it has a hollow chamber in its center. A hidden chamber inside the ruins that provides an excellent view of the entire camp. A stash of recreational narcotics, which we have called smooth. A native fruit that, when crushed, gives off an overwhelmingly unpleasant odor. Broken pieces of precursor tech that begin humming ominously and glowing when touched. A detailed survey of the ruins and surrounding jungle, with markers showing where other ruins might be buried. And a secret passage to the inner heart of the ruins.
Okay, so here's my pitch. We put me inside of the 10-foot-tall hollow structure thing.
Trojan Cruise.
Hey, you can't start laughing at the first step, all right?
Sorry, I'm listening. Okay, I can't wait to see what my reaction is to the second step.
Then, Valentine, you roll it down the ramp through the secret passage to the inner heart of the precursor ruins, okay?
A la Princess Bride.
When I get to the bottom, I pelt them with the stinky fruit, same way as I did previously. That was a test run. That gives me enough time to grab Avery, and we get to the hidden chamber at the top of the ruins. You come by with the ship, and you pick us up from the top of the temple. We keep the drugs as a reward.
Okay.
Because, yes. Okay, I'm still missing how to use the precursor tech and what specifically the detailed map of the ruins is helpful for.
For the piece of precursor tech or whatever, could that be potentially set off by Avery as...
Yeah, I have it, and I feel like that's a good way to disable Thade.
Yeah.
We're not just trying to rescue me, we're trying to get everybody and the gear out.
Well, yes, I mean, like, I grab, like, you and the three people as well. I'm not leaving them behind, of course.
For sure.
They are just assets and not people to Zeta.
Yeah. They're part of the mission. They're lines on a page.
Our prompt is to get the dig team and their find out mostly intact, and I think the mostly intact refers to both parts of that. The rest of the digging we pretty much have figured out, right? Because you stink fruited the rest of the troops, so they're good to go.
Basically, yeah, anyone who is still here is at the temple and not the campsite.
Yeah, I think the overview of the layout is a way for you to get into the heart of it from the secret passageway. It's a way for you to know where you're going without having been a part of the dig.
I like it.
So you're not just like running around catacombs.
Yeah, absolutely.
That covers everything, right? What are we using the precursor tech for? That's to take out Thade?
I'm going to use that to take out Thade.
All right, sick.
Because it's hot to the touch, and sometimes you don't like things that are hot to the touch in your face.
Not if it gives you burnt fingies. It'll give you burnt face.
And burnt bones.
All right, well, it sounds like you've managed to use all of the assets, even if one of them is just, I take this as a reward. I think that still counts.
I need to win something here. I don't care about the dig, so I need something.
Yeah, nothing says victory like heroin.
That's right.
There's a lot you can do with that much.
Okay, well, that certainly sounds like a plan. Let's see how workable it is. Who wants to roll for this?
I'll do one if someone else wants to do one.
I'll do it. I'm the guest in the house. I'll put the responsibility on me.
That's Nat's I got a good roll face, where she clutches her mouth and closes her eyes in pain.
Yeah, super good.
I got a 5.
I got a 1.
That's a 6 plus.
+1. That is a 7. So it is a technically workable plan, but there might be some complications involved. I think the obvious complication here is that Avery Swan, posing as Dr. Kim for the moment, and the other 3 archaeologists have actually been separated. So in order to rescue them, they're not going to all be in one space. So you might have to add an extra step into this.
Put a counter at the bottom right-hand corner, 0 out of 4 archaeologists.
Just start picking them up.
We love an escort mission. I mean, there's something to be said about us splitting off, me getting the other 3, you getting Avery, y'all going up to the top because y'all have to deal with Thade, me getting the rest of them and being like, get the fuck out of here, we'll get the ship, we'll pick them up from the top.
Yeah.
There's also something to be said for distraction. If one person goes in, that might allow the other to sneak by and get the other archaeologists.
Yeah, I can definitely be the distraction with Avery for sure.
What's distracting about this giant precursor relic rolling down a ramp to split you open?
I am the dread pirate Zeta.
I think we'll cut directly to the first moment of action here, as we see this roughly 8 or 9 foot tall, sort of rounded obelisk form with these odd designs on it that look something between circuit patterns and veins carved into it, rolling down into the middle of the precursor ruins, right in front of Captain Thade and our Dr. Avery Swan. This enormous stone-like construction crashes, bangs, and thuds its way down, bouncing around more than maybe it should, but making all sorts of ruckus. And then I'm going to let you guys take over.
It comes to a stop in the middle of the floor of the temple. It's kind of just nothing happens for a second. And then the top of it explodes off as Zeta kicks it from inside. She throws up a couple of the fruits from earlier, and as she was practicing earlier, shoots them out of the air. They explode in this disgusting, smelly, pasty explosion all over Thade and the men that are with him.
I see it as like the squad with their assault rifles peeking up on the thing that's landed still, only to...
The top of it takes one of them out fully.
Yeah!
Also get nice little color bursts of the fruit.
Let's see how effective that is. Zeta, this is going to be a night move, using composure to see if you can keep your cool in this moment of extreme duress. But first, what are you afraid will happen if you fail?
If I fail, I think the least convenient thing that I can think of is that I will somehow knock Avery unconscious, and then I'll be trying to get out of the ruins with an unconscious human being and not a functioning, helpful one.
It's worse than that. Not only will the flying lid of this precursor structure hit Avery and knock them out, you will entirely miss Commander Thade with your first round of firing, and he will get a chance to fire back at you before you can react.
All right. That is a 10 plus 1, 11.
She ain't gonna let it happen.
This first step of your plan works exactly as intended. The precursor structure crashes into the middle of the few remaining guards here, stunning them briefly. The lid flies open. Zeta pops out, guns blasting, and just manages to take down a couple of guys almost instantly. Those who aren't killed outright are stunned by this sudden appearance.
Time to go.
I'm like groggy, basically still unconscious, and blinking my way open, trying to find my bearings. I look pale, worse for wear, and the trigeminal nerve on the right side of my face has been scarred into my flesh. So there's like this lightning bolt pattern on the side of my face.
Zeta takes a little bit of the smooth and just sticks it in your mouth and starts shaking you. Get up. We have to go. This is it. This is the signal. We have to go.
You look as my eyes open, my pupils dilate as the smooth enters my bloodstream, but also you can see my iris is no longer a perfect circle. It is a spiraling like a hurricane cloud.
Don't have time for this. Don't have time for this. Get up.
Commander Thade and his remaining guards are starting to recover from their immediate shock.
Oh, God. I hoist Avery on my shoulder and I start getting out of here.
I reach into my pocket and take out the precursor shards. They float in my hand above my fingers, and I blow on them, and they lightning out, peppering the necks of the guards.
Avery, if you could roll me a night move with sensitivity as you try and control this alien technology, and you're going to be doing that at disadvantage because your fingers are still slightly burnt. So what are you afraid will happen if you fail this roll?
Honestly, I'm afraid nothing will happen. That in my mind, I have this telekinetic ability shooting this machinery forward, but really it's just the effects of the drugs and whatever is happening internally, and I'm just going to be blowing on hot metal that's burning my hand.
Oh, it's worse than that.
Why though?
The precursor tech that you have stashed in your pocket will actually interact weirdly with your recently precursor changed body, and these pieces will actually get absorbed into your skin, changing you further.
You know, I'm okay with that negative consequence if it's a negative consequence. Let's go. I'm going to roll at disadvantage.
Oh, goodness.
2 and 3 is 5, plus 0 is 5.
You reach into your pocket, pull out those pieces of precursor tech, and you're right, they do float above your hand for just a moment, and then immediately, much more quickly, dart into your hand, embedding themselves inside of it. More of those strange lightning and circuit board-like patterns start arcing out from your fingertips down your arm, and you are in immense pain.
I cry out.
Take the condition, not quite human anymore.
Yikes.
At the scream from Avery, Zeta turns around to see if anyone is coming from behind shooting at the two of us.
You don't see anyone right away, but you do hear the sound and smell the acrid ozone-like smell of Laz fire echoing and ricocheting down the hallway towards you. You also hear the heavy footsteps of military boots running towards you.
Okay, time to go. Just hefts Avery up a little bit higher and just keeps running.
Meanwhile, Captain Valentine, what are you doing?
I think completely juxtaposed to the loud opening that Zeta gave for this event, the next we see of the captain is Post pushing the cart down the ramp and everything, and immediately just creeping along and trying to creep along the edge to make his way down further into the tunnels to get to where the other folks are being kept, to get them out back to the ship, to kind of double back so we can grab the ship. So he's very kind of creeping, not quite like crouch walking, but like creeping, staying close to the walls, but cannot help but like being alone and like tapping a little bit and humming a little bit of like, we'll call it like Do Re Mi by Woody Guthrie or something. That's just like very just like kind of little country western, and then like stopping and being like, shut it, have to remind himself and then keep going.
Luckily for you, the noise that your coworkers are making has managed to distract most of the guards, and several of these raiders who are guarding the archaeologists break off from their pack, so by the time you see them, there's only 4 of them guarding the 3 archaeologists in this somewhat flooded, mud-encrusted final chamber that they were digging out.
I don't have it as a personal item, but can we just say that there's like a 6-cylinder las pistol or whatever that the captain has on the holster? The captain's gonna like peer around the corner, see that there's like 4 of them around the table, or like they're like interacting with each other, watching over these scientists, and he's going to like reach in, grab that photo of the young woman who we now know is his daughter, kiss it for good luck, tuck it back into the pocket, and is then going to try to whip around and then shoot the light and then shoot the 4 dudes, trying to use the blast flare as trying to keep track of them. It's very, very risky maneuver, but I'm just trying to do a little bit of like, let me be a little bit cool. Let me show off, like I have a story to tell Zeta later or something like that. That will probably go wrong. Terribly wrong.
This does sound incredibly risky, so this is going to be another night move, this time again with composure.
I love that we have laser technology, but we're still like, no, a 6 shooter's cool, so.
It's like, it's got like
exactly.
6 batteries in it.
Exactly.
Power cells, Robert.
Right. Space
cells.
Batteries.
Yeah.
It's not a clip, it's a magazine, it's not a battery, it's a power cell. Perfect. I love it. Yeah, great. Okay.
So, Valentine, what are you afraid will happen if you fail this roll?
I'm afraid that I'm going to miss everybody spectacularly. Like, I'm going to miss the light, and I'm going to miss all 4 of them, and it's just going to be that awkward moment of them checking for holes, and there's none there, and there we go.
Oh, it's worse than that. You will miss the light, you will miss the guards, but you will hit a piece of precursor tech that will react very unusually, in an unexpected, possibly explosive way, to being fired upon by last fire.
You know, that's so fair. It's fair that you'd say that. It's hanging fruit. It's right there. And I'm marking my photo of a young woman to get advantage on that roll. I rolled a 2 plus a 4, which is 6, but I have a +2 to composure, which brings it to an 8.
We'll cut back to another part of the ruins, where our other two heroes are running as fast as they can away from these guards. You hear the loud, heavy boots coming closer and closer, because Zeta, you're basically having to drag Avery at this point. Avery, you are in so much pain as your arm is just no longer under your control, it feels like. You don't know exactly what is happening to you.
I'm pinching my arm just above the elbow as if trying to tourniquet the blood flow as I'm watching my veins darken and creep closer and closer. Zeta, hurry.
Avery, I've been where you've been. You have to muscle through it, okay?
Yes, that's my forte. Muscle. That's why I hired you.
Use your mind. Mind your way through it. You just have to keep going, okay?
All right. The birds dove into the river.
Uh-huh. Okay. God, I don't know what to do. My heart is literally pounding right now. I want to collapse the tunnel behind us. I want to stop their advance towards us.
Okay. How will you do this?
As I'm dragging Avery, we get into a larger chamber. We pass through a doorway, and I want to buckle the support of the doorway so that it folds in on itself, shooting my last fire pistol at the base of it.
Luckily for you, these ruins are pretty overgrown with vines and whatnot. The stone that they are constructed out of has been crumbling from the damp and the encroaching flora. So this isn't impossible, but it is quite challenging. This is going to be another night move.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this time, because you're trying to figure out exactly where you are shooting to do the most damage, this is going to be a night move with reason. What are you afraid will happen if you fail?
I'm afraid that not only will it collapse the tunnel behind us, it'll collapse this room that we're in, and we'll get stuck in here.
It's worse than that. The room will collapse partially, and Zeta, you will be buried alive, but Avery will still be around for the raiders to take prisoner and perhaps experiment upon to find out exactly what these precursor ruins are doing to them.
I don't want to be a mouse.
I know. Okay, so that is a 2 and a 2, which is a 4, and I don't add anything to my reason, so that's just gonna be a 4.
Is there like a help action I can do?
Well, we'll see exactly what this looks like in just a moment, but we're going to cut back to Captain Valentine. You pull out your laser-fire 6-shooter, fire off a few rounds in a way that you're pretty sure would make Zeta proud of you. The lights go out, you hear a thump, and a third thump as 3 of the 4 guards hit the ground. But now it's dark, and there's still a 4th raider somewhere in this room with you and the 3 archaeologists.
Okay, cowpoke. And I'm gonna move. You could get on out of here with your skin intact. I'm gonna move again. I'll let you walk out. I'll move again.
You hear lace fire hit where you were just a few moments ago.
I just picture you, like, rolling.
It's like Splinter Cell.
It's a very rolling forward episode.
Absolutely.
This is how we roll.
As soon as he fires off, I was like, have it your way, and I'm gonna try to, just pummel. I'm gonna try to dive for, where that blaster, went off from, to try to tussle, I guess. It's dark. I'm not shooting this guy. I'm gonna hit somebody or something, so let's tussle.
That sounds like a night move with vitality in order to tackle this guy to the ground. What are you afraid will happen if you fail?
He's gonna shoot me in the gut.
It's worse than that. You will get shot in the gut. And then they will start executing the other archaeologists in the room with you one by one. So as you are laying on the floor, bleeding out, you will see their bodies fall around you.
That's an 8. I've got 0 vitality. I'm a little string bean, but I've got 4 and 4 on the die.
That's a success. We'll see what that means in just a moment. Zeta, you lower your pistol at the base of the door where you see a crack running through the stone.
As I go, the corner.
Fire it, and an explosion of stone shards fly out. The doorway unfortunately remains intact, but one of those stone shards hits a spot in the ceiling above you, and after just a moment of rumbling, the entire ceiling collapses, crushing you underneath it, leaving Avery a little bit closer to the doorway as Commander Thade runs into the room, a couple of his raiders with him, guns drawn. Well, it seems like they did our job for us.
Do I get to read my mask, please, so that I want to read A Shade of the Past so that doesn't happen, please?
Okay. Read the prompt and go ahead and narrate.
A flashback 10 to 15 years ago to a battle in the Stellar War that had lasting effects on your life, even if you were not there. The images of that terrible outcome flash through Zeta's mind as she levels the gun at the other corner of the door and shoots again, and in that flash of the last fire pistol, she flashes back even further to a moment. She barrels around the corner and up the next flight of stairs, red lights pulsing on and off. Theo is illuminated in flashes of strobe lighting, his locks tossing back and forth stutteringly, his arms and legs shifting unseen in the in-between darkness. She can barely hear the slamming of heavy boots below them over the wailing siren that vibrates something deep in her ears. Run, Z, come on! He swings himself around the door lock and starts pulling wires from within the control panel. He's always been too smart for her. Too kind, too handsome, too stupid. She focuses on him and his perfect face for too long, miscounts the steps, and kicks straight into the riser. She slams into the landing, smashing her chin, and the journal goes flying out of her hands. Got it! Theo looks up at her as the door lock starts to shut, but she's not up, she's down. Shit. The notebook. Z. The thundering steps are closing in. The door is sliding shut, unstoppably shut. Get up! Zeta is scrabbling for the journal and gets on her feet, but it's late. It's too late. The door is closing too quickly. Theo starts punching at the panel as Z shoves her body through the gap. He breathes a sigh of relief, and she screams. The metal door, the thing that's supposed to be saving them, is crushing down on her arm just between her wrist and her elbow. She turns to Theo and, for once, lets him see her cry. Go. What? No. Go now. I will hold them off. Absolutely not. Take this. Pain spiking up her arm, she shoves the notebook at him and aims her pistol through the crack in the doorway at the approaching armada. Her hand is shaking. He starts messing with the wires again, undoing everything he just did. For her. She can't let him. Theo, please, don't make me point this at you. There has to be another way. She's not listening. No, she's thinking. She points the gun at herself. Theo is lunging at her, but she's always been too fast for him. She roars as she shoots the last fire straight into her forearm. At least it's cauterizing the wound.
Remembering that moment from the war and hearing Dr. Avery weakly say, the corner, you raise your last fire pistol up from the bottom of the door frame where you had it aimed to a top corner and fire. The door collapses, the walls collapse, but the ceiling holds true. You hear the footsteps stop on the other side of this rubble, and you hear Commander Thade shout out, "Clear this. We need to get through." And the laser fire increases. The stonework that is now blocking the doorway starts to glow softly as it heats up.
Lindon, London, we have to go. I'm sorry I can't be much help.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine. Just hold on, okay?
Grab your hand as you're saying hold on. You don't have to take me with you, Betty.
That's okay, I'm going to.
If it's the difference between you getting out of here alive or not, choose alive.
I choose both, and I just scoop Avery like a baby in my arms. Start making our way to the rendezvous.
You do start making your way to the rendezvous point with the knowledge that while you have delayed Commander Thade and his forces, you haven't stopped them entirely. They're still on your heels and will probably be catching up to you shortly. However, one of Commander Thade's men is in a bit more of a dramatic situation as he and Captain Valentine tussle on the ground, locked in each other's arms, fighting, punching, kicking. Valentine, you do manage to take this guy down, but he gets one good shot in on you. How does he hurt you?
I think that there's like that moment of like Valentine's on top and then just dropping like a fist after fist and like it's not doing a lot of damage, so it's like, okay, let me use my elbow then. And he takes that moment to hook the elbow, like Valentine's elbow, and the soldier like wrenches up trying to lift, like get Valentine off, and it dislocates Valentine's shoulder. And so Valentine has to roll off and is like immediately just like trying to get it back into place and everything quickly. And even if it does get back into place, it's fucked.
Go ahead and take the condition dislocated shoulder.
That's a survivor evac worthy injury. You be careful.
Yeah, I think there's that moment of like you hear that pop and then there is a cry in pain and then there's a headbutt from like Valentine or whatever, so the guy like lets go and Valentine like rolls over and like kicks his boots on the ground and then like looks over like towards the people that are in prison and is like, get the fuck out of here, what are you doing, get to the ship. go opposite of the gunfire, and then is like going to like look around at the wall and just like slam the shoulder back into the wall into the other way so that he can still use it. And then it's gonna do that whole like the hat's off, there's like bloody nose and everything, and it's gonna look at the guy and go, come the fuck on. And I'm going to try to like feint, try to like look like I'm scooping for the guy's legs so that he goes low, and then I'm going to try to go around him and hook his neck and then just wrench him down and then try to do what I can, just full back control on the soldier.
Absolutely, you do that. It hurts you immensely, but you are able to take this soldier down. You and the archaeologist that you came to rescue flee from the room, heading towards the evacuation point, where you meet up with Zeta and Avery. The three of you and the three archaeologists that you are escorting drag your broken and battered bodies up a narrow, winding flight of stairs, up the spire, to the room that overlooks the camp, gives you the best view that you can see, the evacuation point that you had earlier set with Daredevil. And you do see the Kingfisher flying towards you, but it's not quite there yet. Diana Daredevil Chapman was, until this day, an archaeologist, not a pilot, and she is doing her best to dodge the incoming heavy weapons of the Azure Dragon flying above her and make her way to the rendezvous point. But she won't make it in time. If things keep going the way they look like they are, Commander Thade and his men will reach you long before then. You need to buy yourself and Chapman some time. What do you do?
Let me know if this is too cartoon. I would like to take Z's Lasfire pistol out from her holster, lean over the edge, and shoot a keystone so that the entire tower topples toward her, and then we have to jump and get the plane as it flies by.
That's so sick.
That's amazing.
I love that.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, the sort of makeshift climbing rope that had been dragging off of the back of the Kingfisher to allow the archaeologists to get up there is still dragging off the back of it. You do see a possible escape route, but it is incredibly risky. Let's make one last night move with composure to see if you can keep a cool head, hit the right spot, and make the tower fall in exactly the right way. Before you roll, though, what are you afraid will happen if you fail?
That it won't work. That I'll just look like an idiot. I'll be shooting a building and it won't move, like when you shoot a building.
Oh, it's worse than that. It will work, but not quite in the way you intend it. The tower will collapse, but not towards the Kingfisher, but rather towards the ruins themselves, destroying what is left of them, crushing you all, and shards of it will fly up and hit the Kingfisher, disabling that and making it an easy target for the Azure Dragon.
You're gonna put this at disadvantage, you son of a bitch?
I am going to put this at disadvantage. It is hard to fire a gun when you've got burnt fingers and you're not entirely human.
Okay. I am going to invoke my unfinished sheet music, the pieces of paper that I took, forsaking my manuscript and research and leaving that all behind. I've been trying to finish this movement, have its climax be something that feels like a proper ending. And I've been trying notes and chords and rehashing the theme and bringing it in, and have a moment and realize sometimes you just need rest. You need the moment of silence before the crash to emphasize it. I'm going to mark that personal quarters item to roll this normally. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7.
Thank
Oh!
God. Yeesh. Some close calls today.
Very much so.
By the skin of your teeth.
Avery, music playing in your head. You take Zeta's pistol.
Hey.
Aim it perfectly out one of the windows and fire.
Get ready to jump.
Nothing happens for a moment, and then you feel a deep rumble as the stones begin to shift, as the tower that you are standing in begins to wobble very slightly, and then you feel the movement. The ground shifts out from under you. The tower collapses, heading right towards the Kingfisher.
Oh, great, we're doing a math thing. Okay, you're doing a math thing.
Oh, leave
great,
it to
math
you to do
physics.
science at a time like this.
It's not math.
I scoop Avery so I have one arm across my shoulder just bolstering them.
Can't you hear the thunder? It's weather.
What did you do to them?
I didn't do anything. They came to me like this.
The tower begins to fall. You hear screams from below as a few of Thade's men are crushed in the collapsing ruins. And as the landscape outside of your vantage point tilts and shifts, you see the Kingfisher fly by, the cord and nets dragging behind it, moving right in front of your escape route.
All right, folks, one foot in front of the other. Just right, it's a gangplank. Just imagine it as a gangplank. You're going on to a cruise. It's a wonderful cruise. And just pushing the scientists, like, move.
Run!
Fly.
Adrenaline coursing through them, you manage to get the archaeologists onto the ropes, onto the netting, climbing up the way. The tower crumbles and collapses, knocking another spire down with it, and like a chain of dominoes, the entire ruins explode out in a giant cloud of dust.
Do you think we're getting paid?
They hopefully got insurance on all that. Y'all got insurance, right?
This moment of triumph doesn't last long, as a bolt of heavy lasfire from the Azure Dragon hits the side of the Kingfisher, sending all of you shaking just a little bit.
Valentine, I think you're needed at the front. I think you are very needed at the front.
Everybody find a seat, strap yourself in. We're gonna do something funky, okay? Gotta go all the way up to the helm. Gotta slide into the chair and everything, not even worrying about putting on the harness or anything like that, as, like, Dr. Chapman's probably standing up and everything, and I'm like, you did great, Doc, okay? You got a real future in this, if the whole doctor thing doesn't work out. And I'm gonna go ahead and start, like, hitting buttons. I'm going to try to hail the Azure Dragon on comms and everything like that, and I'm going to slow down enough so that, like, their guns that we're training on us have to recalibrate, but I want to slow down enough so that they get right up on our ass so that I can blast them with exhaust and, like, flames and everything when I hit the throttle to go faster or anything like that. So I can, like, scramble their systems or something like that, I guess. But we'll, like, call up and hail them on the comms and be like, Thade, whatever your name is, just want to let you know, it's not personal or anything, buddy. I mean, you stepped on our doorstep and you made a big old mess, so no harsh feelings or anything like that, pal. But you just go ahead, if there's any damage or you need anything taken care of, you can go ahead and just forwarding address, go ahead and just send it to the Kingfisher. We'll take care of all of it for you, buddy, all right? And then immediately slow down.
Your maneuvering works. You dodge some of the heavy fire coming out of the gunship. On the radio you had just used, a voice crackles.
You have made your last mistake. You have made a grave enemy today. I will ensure that even if you live through today, the Kingfisher will fall.
Take a number, pal, get in line, and I'm going to turn the comms off.
I'm strapping Avery into their seat, just checking vitals, trying to figure out what's going on.
I'm all right. Stop fussing.
You are not all right. You are weird, more so than usual.
Well, that's the pot calling the kettle black if ever I've heard it.
Okay, and take the gun back, put it in my holster. You don't get to use this.
Would you do me a favor and get me my accordion?
I cannot listen to your music right now. I really can't. I'm so sorry.
I have an idea and I need to get it down. Then hand me the papers at least.
Fine, only because maybe it will help. I love you, don't move. I go get the accordion and the music and just check in on all of the archaeologists, make sure they're all buckled in too.
When she's out of earshot, I love you too.
The archaeologists are all strapped in. Your ship, with its proper captain back at the helm, nimbly dodging the fire of this much larger, more unwieldy gunship. You break through the atmosphere, leaving this planet behind. The Kingfisher still flies, but you've made a grave enemy today. Something that I'm sure will come back when you least expect it and when it's most inconvenient. The end!
Yay!
Since we have finished our adventure, let's do our advancements.
Oh shit! Oh yeah,
my
we're still playing.
gosh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the game is still technically going. We got a little bit of wrap-up work to do.
It's never over.
This is like when you can shoot the names in the credits.
First of all, the question that you always have marked: did you solve the problem and keep your star cutter flying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Check.
Yeah, I would say so. You got all of the archaeologists and most of what they had dug up. So let's go through your individual end of adventure questions. Nat, what did you mark?
I marked, did you put yourself in danger to save someone else? I definitely did that for Avery. And did you leap before you looked? I mean,
That's the literal.
We literally leaped off of a falling tower, trusting that Avery knew what they were doing, so.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
T, what did you mark?
Did you share a moment of vulnerability? And did you make the frontier a little more free? The latter, I don't think I did, unfortunately.
You left a big threat to the frontier sort of alive and with a grudge against you, so...
Yeah, but he's focused on us now, so everybody else... I think I shared a vulnerable moment when I told Zeta to save herself if she couldn't save me.
That sounds right to me. Wes, what did you mark?
My 2 that I marked were, did you put on a big show, and did you make the selfish choice? Now, the first one, did you put on a big show? Obviously, the
That's your
flyby, that's just you stay on stage, you don't have to get up back on stage, you did that kind of thing. And did you make the selfish choice? I don't think that's, I like end of adventure questions where it's almost like you have to ask another person. And so I will go to my fellow crew members. Do you think there was a choice that was selfish that Valentine made during the adventure?
I don't think so. I think you were pretty much like here for the team in this one.
I will argue that you left the ship, which is your job, in order to become involved in the adventure. And that is selfish.
That is true. I did leave our Star Cutter in the hands of an unpracticed doctor just so I could get boots on the ground to make myself feel better because I felt like I wasn't doing anything. That is a good point.
Which, overall was helpful, but I do think it was the selfish choice.
And you are being kind of inherently selfish, leaving your family behind to fly and continue to be a little pirate.
That's true. Yeah, instead of just getting a job as a short order cook on a station with my daughter, it's which
I wouldn't give you for free before every session if I was GMing, but because you did the flashback where it was revealed to this adventure.
It's like the avant-garde risque fashion question for the undeniable.
Always had to do it one time.
Okay, well, unfortunately, after just one adventure, none of you are going to have enough XP to mark an advancement. So I think we'll end the session there.
Oh, I'm going to miss these characters. I want to play these all the time.
I know, this is fun.
Who knows what adventures lay in store for the crew of the Kingfissher? Who knows when we will see them again? And who knows if Thade will ever get his revenge?
Well, you do. You're the one who knows.
Yes, you know.
You're the one that
You're
knows.
aware.
Flight of the Kingfissher is a Kitten Marlowe production. This episode was edited and produced by Kim Dalton and featured a theme song by Jason Myers. You can find out more about us by visiting kittenmarlowe.com, signing up for our newsletter, or following us on socials. For Discord access, exclusive cast talkbacks, TTRPG materials, and more, visit patreon.com/kittenmarlowe and join the folks on the frontier, our Kitten Marlowe patrons, in supporting artist-driven storytelling. Thanks for listening.